What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I'm partnering up with KBShimmer to show you their new Perfectly Seasoned collection. Now if you haven't heard of KBShimmer before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US, and all their polishes are fave free, meaning they are free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So they just released 12 new nail polishes that are winter/holiday inspired, and we actually have a ton of different finishes. We've got a crelly, we've got some multi-chrome, we've got flakies, we've got shimmer, we've got holo, we even have a magnetic, and one of the polishes is actually a re-release from 2013, which I'm super excited about. So let me just go ahead and dive into the swatches, and then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the collection, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I'm using the KBShimmer Fillin' Groovy Ridge Filling Base Coat. So we'll start off with what feels like a classic KBShimmer polish to me. This one is called Skating By. So we have this beautiful soft blue base, and then within that we have the classic KBShimmer holo chips that are so beautiful and silvery, and then we also have a duochrome shifting shimmer. So looking at it head on, I see a lot of this yellow color, but it also shifts into a beautiful green. So it's a really impressive shade. I feel like there's a lot packed into it, but it still doesn't look busy on the nail. It feels so frosty and perfect for this time of year. And I feel like this is also going to be a really nice transitional shade into spring as well, because it also kind of reminds me of the skies. Next up, we have the namesake of the collection. This one is Perfectly Seasoned, and this one is a light brown linear holo polish. And it's described as being a warm caramel tone, but I have to say, as soon as I saw this color, the first thing that came to mind was this is a gingerbread color. I guess it's a little bit light for gingerbread, but also now that I'm looking at it, it kind of is giving a little bit of a turkey vibe. So I feel like this is a good Thanksgiving color, but it's also just a really great any time of year neutral shade. As you can see, the holo is so strong in this one. Usually the holo doesn't show up too well until after the polish is dry, but even wet, this one was very rainbowy. Next up, we have Flocking Fabulous, and this one is a white crelly polish, which is another formula that I think KBShimmer happens to excel at. So we've got this white, slightly sheer base that does have buildable coverage, and then within it we have a ton of different colors of different sized hex glitters. So we've got red, green, we've got a little bit of like a fuchsia color, and then we also have a softer blue, and this definitely feels like funfetti, Christmassy cupcakes to me. I think it's so fun and festive. There are also some larger glitters in there as well. I didn't get any on this nail, but I did think that I was going to need a third coat for opacity, so I wasn't too worried about it, but I do think that it's really fun with polishes like this because each nail does look slightly different, so you get a little variety in the color and size of glitters on each nail. Next, we have the shade Berry and Bright, and this one is a stunning, vibrant red shimmer, and I love this type of shade this time of year. I always do love my wintry, deep cranberry kind of reds, but there's something about this very bright, cool toned candy apple red kind of color that really speaks to me this time of year. And the formula on this one was perfect coverage in 2 coats, but it was just so smooth and easy to work with. And honestly, all of them so far have been perfect 2 coaters on me. So really love this one. I'm also curious to see it with a matte top coat because I feel like it's going to give a little bit of a velvety Santa vibe that way. Moving on, we have the shade Present Tense, and this one is a really beautiful cool toned purple shimmer. So we've got what is actually more of a warm, neutral kind of purple base, and then within it we have a gorgeous duochromy shimmer that, looking at it head on, is almost like an indigo color. You see a lot of blue in there, but around the edges there's a lot of fuchsia as well. So a really beautiful shade. I think this is one of those colors that looks so much more vibrant in person than it does on camera because the purple in this is just so eye-catching. And then we have the shade Bundled Up, which is another purple shimmer, but this is what I love about KBShimmer is these are both purple bases with a duochrome iridescent shimmer running throughout, and yet they are so incredibly different. Obviously the color is a little bit different as well. This one, the shimmer is more of a greenish teal going into blue, but also you can just see the size of the shimmer in this is so different that it goes from being more of a creamy, more smooth shimmer into this one, which has this almost fleck vibe to it where the light hits the different shimmers shimmers differently and makes it look a lot more sparkly. I just love seeing that sort of thing, especially in the same collection. It's fun to see a brand really have good control over how to make different types of polishes. Next up, we have a couple of surprising formulas. This first one is called Get Your Knit Together, and this one is a very cool toned purple jelly base. It's almost leaning a little bit blue indigo kind of color, and then within that we have a ton of iridescent flakes running throughout, and the colors in those are primarily blues and purples, and we also have a black flaky running throughout. So I started off with 2 coats, and I love the way that this looks. This is one of those shades that it has buildable coverage, but you can wear it in less coats because it's not patchy in any areas. So if you want a little bit of that visible nail line, you can wear it in 2 coats. I was also curious to see it in 3, and that built it up a lot, made it a lot more opaque, and you could just see so many layers of those flakies through the nail. I think this is so fun. It almost feels a little opalescent, even though it's very dark. But yeah, this is such an unexpected formula for KBShimmer. I don't usually see this sort of black flaky vibe from them, but they absolutely nailed it. And then we have the shade How Noble, which is the same formula as Get Your Knit Together, but we have a different color scheme going on here. So this one is in a teal jelly base, and then we've got the iridescent flakes in blue and green, and plus we also have the black as well. So you can just see on application, it is just so smooth across the whole nail in terms of color distribution. So you don't have to worry about making it full coverage, because even if you want to wear it as a more sheer look, you can get that very evenly on your nail. Now, 2 things that I do want to mention about these 2 polishes. Firstly, these 2 had a slightly thicker formula than what I usually see from KBShimmer. Now, this isn't a problem in my opinion. I think that they still applied really nicely, but it's just something to watch out for if you are a fan of slightly less thin formulas. And 2, because we have so many flakies in here, you probably want to use a glitter eating top coat, which is something that KBShimmer has. So just my 2 little disclaimers, but I think the end result of both of these is so gorgeous and they really aren't difficult to apply. Moving on, we have the shade Crushing It. This one is the magnetic of the collection. So we have this beautiful emerald green shimmer, and it does have green magnetic shimmer running throughout. So first, what I like to do with these types of polish is apply them full coverage on their own. In this case, it took me 2 coats, and this unmagnetized was absolutely stunning, but of course I wanted to magnetize it to show you what it looked like. And first I decided to do the velvet style just because this color to me just feels so perfectly Christmas tree vibes, and I don't know, that just feels like velvet to me. So I did that first. It absolutely stunned me. I love this color. I think it's going to be so perfect for Christmas tree nail art, but even this paired with the red I think would be such a perfect combo. And then of course I had to try it in the cat eye style as well, and even though it is a simple color, I think it looks beautiful in this style. So all of that beautiful green pigment comes to the center, and we're left with this very deep foresty blackened green around the edges. So it just has a beautiful subtle effect. And then we have the shade What's Going On, and this one is a black base that has a ton of multicolored flash reactive shimmers in it. So you could actually see in the bottle that this one is deceptively simple. It seems like it's going to be just a black polish, but you can already see all of the beautiful colors coming through. And what I think is a funny coincidence about this is there's a lot of colors in here, but the primary colors that I see popping out are the red, the green, and the silver. So this really does feel like a perfect Christmassy polish to me. It gave me perfect coverage in 2 coats, and it is just so sparkly. Next up, we have the shade Kringle All the Way, and if this one looks familiar to you, that is because this is the re-release that originally came out in 2013, and I am so glad to see that this shade is back because it is so fun. So it's a topper that has a ton of different sizes of circular holographic glitters running throughout. So we've got red, we've got green, and we've got silver. And as you can see, application on this one is a little bit different. So you can just apply it out of the bottle, but you're not going to get as nice of placement onto your nail. So what I like to do is I like to paint on basically a base layer of all of the smallest glitters, and then I'll just go in with the bottle brush and add some of the larger circle glitters around my nail so that it has a nice consistency across my nail. And I think this polish is so fun. It really does look like little ornaments, and it's so sparkly and bright. And last but definitely not least, we have the shade In a Flurry, which is another topper. This one is a glitter holo topper, and this one I am so incredibly excited about because I feel like I am always mentioning these diamond chip flecks in KBShimmer polishes, and it is something that I associate so much with KBShimmer in general. So to have this in a topper version that I can add to any color is just such a fun concept. The holo was being a little bit shy on camera, but I promise in person it is so gorgeous. You can wear it over any color and it just adds that classic KBShimmer diamond chip fleck, and I just thought that was great. I actually especially love it over black because it does remind me of a starry night sky. I feel like this would be so perfect for some galaxy nail art, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be wearing this over every single color because I love it already. So here are all the polishes in the collection, and I am so thrilled with these. I think it's really fun how many different types of finishes that we got in this collection, which is pretty standard for KBShimmer. They usually give us a lot of different stuff to work with, but what I'm especially excited about is to have all of these kind of classic wintry sort of shades as well. You can see that whole middle row is really the blues and purples and these cooler wintry tones, but they're still so rich and vibrant, and I really just love that. But of course we also got some classic holiday colors in there as well, and I think a lot of these colors are also going to work for any time of year. That red just feels like a classic to me. The brown holo feels like a perfect any time of year neutral, and then of course we have the topper that I'm so excited about. So yeah, we have a lot to work with here, but let's talk about them a little bit more. So those are the polishes, and I have to say I love this set. I just love how many different finishes there are. I feel like there's really something for everyone, and I do love how the set leans a little bit more cool toned this time around. It really makes me excited for the icy wintry kind of feel that comes this time of year, but we still get a lot of those classic holiday colors as well. And I know I always say this in my KBShimmer reviews, but they are seriously such a beginner friendly brand, which is another reason why I love that they have such a variety of different finishes, because I feel like it really gives people the opportunity to try different finishes that tend to be a little bit more difficult from other brands, but in a very easy and forgiving formula. And it really kind of expands people's interest and knowledge in different types of nail polishes. So I definitely appreciate KBShimmer for that. I think they did an absolutely incredible job here, and I feel like that's something that they always consistently do, just making trickier formulas a little bit more accessible and beginner friendly, but also still being appealing to people like me who already have a ton of polishes because their colors are still very unique. So yeah, let's get into pricing and availability. All of these polishes come in the usual 15 milliliter bottle. They do feature a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, so application is even easier. And the polishes retail for $12 USD each, but KBShimmer is having a huge sale for Black Friday, so they do have 20% off all of their products. That runs until December 2nd, and that's using the code KBSBF2024. So I'm gonna write that down below as well. And they also have a fun little freebie, so while supplies last, with every order you can get a little holiday nail art glitter mix. They're super cute, very festive. We got a lot of fun different shapes in there, so I highly recommend grabbing everything you can during this sale. Now is a great time to stock up. They have a lot of really great nail care products as well as base and top coats. I personally love their Clearly on Top quick dry top coat. It's one of my top favorites of all time. They do sell a refill bottle as well, and it's usually very inexpensive, but right now is a great time to stock up. I love their cleanup brush. I love their nail polish thinner, especially for glitter nail polishes. So I'm gonna link everything that I recommend down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested, but I'm curious to hear from you. What do you think of this collection? Which color is your favorite? Are you planning on picking any of these colors up, or have you already? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I love you all, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's Would You Rather question is, would you rather have smelly feet or bad breath? So this is a little bit of a backstory. If you didn't know, I actually recently had surgery because my nose was not working properly. I couldn't really smell anything. And now I have a sense of smell for the first time in my life. And let me tell you, it is mind blowing. And I have to say, since then, I've been very sensitive about the way that my breath smells. I don't think I necessarily have bad breath, but I think I can smell it all the time. So I'm always nervous that I have bad breath. And I feel like that's something that when you approach a person, you can smell bad breath, but unless they're barefoot or just like wearing socks or something, you probably wouldn't be able to smell their feet. So in this scenario, I would choose to have smelly feet. I think I probably just would keep my shoes on unless I absolutely had to take them off, and obviously at home. So that's what I would choose. But I'm curious to hear your arguments if you feel the opposite way. But let me know your answer to the would you rather in the comments, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!